Hi, Mr. Rainard here. Here's your morning work, week 26, Wednesday. Let's get it going. All right, so number one, now they're leaving some information off and you have to fill it in, but they did give you the is of back. So remember, if we're trying to find a percentage, if we're trying to find a whole number, right, and we know that a smaller number is a certain percentage of that number, we can cross multiply by putting the percentage over 100, which of course this could be simplified to 1/5. I don't know why we're using 20 hundredths, but whatever. And then you put 8 out of x because 8 is the part and x is the whole. Then you cross multiply 20x equals, and then 8 times 100 is 800. Now you're going to divide both sides by 20 to get x by itself, which is 80 divided by 2, which is 40. So x is 40. So pretty quick. And of course, what that means is if I had something in 5 pieces, because 20% is fifths. All right, so imagine that's 5 equal pieces. And 20%, which would be the very first section, right here, is 8. What would the total be, right? So 8 times 5 would tell you that x is 40. So we'll just throw our 50% up here, which is 1 out of 2. 50% is 1/2. And of x, x is our total, is 14. 14 is our part. And so we're going to do 50x equals 1400. We're going to divide both sides by 50. And that cancels that out. Divide by 50, which is 140 divided by 5. 5, that's going to be, well, let's just do that off to the side here. 2, 8, 28. So x is 28, which of course would be a lot easier if you just think of 14 times 2. Right? That's why this way, like, I feel like this gives you bigger numbers. I mean, go to fraction form, but simplify the fraction and then do the math. But also, you can just think of 50% as 1/2, and so we're just multiplying by 2 because we'd have 2 pieces. And we know that 14 is half. So what is x? X would have to be 28 because it's 2 14s, right? This is 50%. This is 100%. This would be 0%. But who am I? Just a math teacher. So mean absolute deviation, remember that is the MAD. And they already gave us the mean, all right? And the MAD says how far is each data point from the mean, and then what is the average of that? So 3 is 2 away, right? See, I'm just going to go one at a time from the data set number to the mean. This has a difference of 2. This has a difference of 2, so I write that down. The 4 and the 5 have a difference of 1, 7 and 5 have a difference of 2, and 5 and 8 have a difference of 3. Now I just find the mean of these. So I'm going to add them up. 4, 3, and 3 is going to give me 10, right? 7 and 10. And then I'm going to do 10 divided by 5 is 2, right? 10 divided by 5 is 2. So the MAD is 2. So number 4 asks about median. Remember step 1, put the numbers in order from least to greatest, and then I have 2 ways to make sure that I account for all the numbers. 1, I cross them off as I go. So I put the 5 down, I cross off a 5. I put the 5 down, I cross off a 5. But then I count my numbers at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I count the data set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I believe I've got them all accounted for, checked it twice. Now I just cross off till I get to the middle. And then, of course, there's the numerical way of doing this, but we'll just show this as 12 being the middle number with 4 on each side. So remember, when we're multiplying fractions or dividing fractions, we want to have no mixed numbers. So I'm going to change this first. So 5 times 1, right? How many fifths are in 1 and 2/5 is going to be 5/5 plus 2/5, which is 7/5. So I'm doing 7/5 divided by 4/5 in reality. Now I'm going to keep, change, flip, right? Some people like to use the butterfly effect, right? This is the cross multiplication, but that kind of gets confusing when you start using that for something else because we see it as an x. So what I'm going to do is keep, change, flip it. I'm going to rewrite this as 7/5, keep the same first number, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 4/5, which is 5/4. Now I'm just going to have 35, straight, because when we multiply, we go straight across. And 20. Now I'm going to divide both of those by 5, which is going to give me 7/4. And now I'm just going to make it a mixed number and simplify that to 1 and 3/4 as my final answer. So 6 and 7 again, this week has been focusing on finding, plotting points, right? X and Y coordinates on a coordinate grid and see if you can get a straight line. So we've got +3, +2, which is right 3 up 2 from the 0. So let's go plot that point. Right 3 up 2 would be here. All right, and then we've got 0, 1. So it's right 0 up 1. All right. And our last point is -2 up 1. -2 up 1. So that's left 2 up 1. Does that make a straight line? Well, nope. So I'm going to throw in my no. And let's move over to number 8, which is all about 8. 8 notebooks cost, okay, that's got to be some sort of typo. I'm just going to cross off this. I'm just going to say 8. 8 notebooks cost $21.68. How much would 12 notebooks cost? So we've got notebooks and cost, and we're going to say that 8 equals 21. I don't need the dollar sign because I labeled it up top, so let's backtrack on that. 21.68, and I need to get to 12. Okay, can't multiply anything by 12, but I'm just going to divide across to find the cost of 1, right? Find my rate, 21.68 divided by 8. What just happened there? So here we go. I'm going to zoom in to make this happen. 21.68 divided by 8. That's going to be 2, which is 16, leaving me 5. Bring down the 6. That's 7. Wait. Which is going to be 56, and that's going to leave me the 8, and so 1. So $271 per notebook is what we have. So now I'm just going to do my 271, and I'm going to multiply that by 12, and that'll give me my 12. So I'm going to zoom in and do that over here, and it's 271 times 12. So that's a 2, 14, 4 and 5, drop a 0, then it's 172. Add those together, 2, 5, 12, and 3, and I need 2 decimal place values. $32.52. That's not too bad, huh? Actually, that seems like a lot. But, all right, moving on. All right, so finding the relationship, I see going to the right, it is times 2, and going to the left, it is divided by 2, which is, of course, the opposite. So this has to be a 2, and this has to be a 20. That was easy. And what's the opposite of 0? Itself. 0 is the opposite of itself. Hope that helped.